Hello, my name is Janette Alle, and this is my Unreal demo reel. For this project, I redesigned the sound for the action RPG game, which is a third-person hack-and-slash game. This game takes place in a single dungeon cave, where our main character fights different enemies' waves. The original audio was replaced in order to create new sound effects for the game. A different sound design proposal was created using blueprints and sound cues. First, I worked on the ambience. To create a more dynamic scene, a looping ambience was created with different variations. This included sounds of different lengths for the wind, a cave ambience, and some sporadic creatures. This allowed the ambience to be more dynamic and to have different permutations. Furthermore, some sound sources were placed, including fire sounds, some random critters hidden in trees, and some rocks cracking. These sounds were implemented using sound cues, blueprints, and sometimes different layers in order to create different variations. The fire audio source auto-activates and keeps looping, and its attenuation distance changes on the different sources. The rocks cracking were implemented by creating different audio components that trigger in random locations around the player. Then, using blueprints, I used the event tick in order to trigger a random delay that will then set the rock's granular synth, which also has some random parameters. This will then trigger this sound in 3 different locations and in different time spans. For the trees creatures, I use a blueprint in which a random delay is applied after the event triggers. Then, it plays a sound cue in which it can choose between different random sounds and with many empty inputs, so the creature sounds are not too repetitive. The weapon swings and impacts were also replaced on the sound cues, where, after the event is triggered, it chooses between 3 different random sounds which are modulated. This was done for all the available weapons: the sword, the hammer, the axe, and the fire swing. Many of the sounds of the abilities were also replaced that same way. But some of them required more variation. For example, the meteor impact. In this case, the sound was created from 3 different randomized layers that were mixed in a single sound. Then, I recorded some vocalizations and other sounds for the main character and the enemies. These are some examples. But I also wanted to work more on the main character's footsteps and foley. So, inside the player's animation, I updated the notifies for the body in order to have some leather and metal sounds while our player is walking. Also, I added a dynamic footstep system. For this system, I assigned different physical surface types inside the project settings. Then, I assigned the corresponding physical material to all surfaces. Finally, inside the player's blueprint, I check the surface that he is stepping in order to trigger that surface sound cue. I repeated the process for both the footsteps and the body sounds for the enemies. Also, I added some real-time sound effects on certain sounds, such as the fire swing. Finally, since all sounds were assigned to a particular sound class, a little mixing was done using the sound class mix. Thanks for watching.